First and foremost, for being here. Thank you for that brilliant and always dynamic introduction. Um, I'm excited to be here. So thank you for inviting me out to this event to be with you all. Always love to share some space and just mind space with creators, educators, business people, speakers. So especially when we're talking about education. So thank you for inviting me to facilitate this session. And I think what we're going to do first to really get started is really just open with a brief introduction of each of the panelists that are here today. We want you to just give a brief introduction and say why you believe education is important for the Black community. And we'll start off with Miss Rachel first.
Right, sorry about that pause. My mouth was moving slow as I was moving to the unmute button. But good afternoon, evening, no, depending on where you all are at. Before I say anything else, I just want to thank IMI just for creating this month, creating this space, and inviting me to sit alongside these two brothers here who are doing so much amazing work in the community. And so, in short, like Dr. Banks said, I am Rachel Gregoire, co-founder of Foolery Inc. You can hear my 2-year-old in the background who does not care when I'm when I'm in class and when I'm in events like this. It sounds like she's giving my co-founder, my husband, the flux down there. So let's all send him some good vibes in the moment. But my husband and I, we are the creators of well, we're the founders of Foolery, where we do three main things: cultivate, convene, and celebrate culture. And one of the main ways we do that is through a game that we have created that's called Trap Wars, the Urban Game Night Experience. It's a name that word guessing game where all the words in the game are for the culture, whatever that means to you. It might be about our hair, our food, entertainment. But for us, yes, it's about fun, games, and laughter, but for us, it's bigger than that. We want to do the same thing that IMI does: create spaces like this where we can get together, where we can talk about the things that really matter, create meaningful moments, and even have some of the tough conversations. And if I had to say what I believe to be the most important thing for the Black community when it comes or why education is so important in the Black community is just because we may not realize it, but basically everything that we do is driven by a belief. That belief doesn't have to be true. And all too often, I think in the Black community, some of our actions are driven by lies that we're socialized to believe about ourselves. And so if for no other reason, I just think, I know I, for one, am always empowered by learning the truth about myself, about my ancestors, about what they were able to achieve against, unbelievable odds. And I just think that if more people knew really the complexities and the depth behind that they would too feel empowered to operate in excellence.
Mic drop. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for that. Thank you for opening up the scenery for us, Mrs. Gregoire. Josiah, did you want to hop in here and share a little bit about who you are and why you believe education is important for the Black community?
Yeah, man, I don't know how I'm supposed to follow up that introduction. I really don't, know if there's anything left to say. She pretty much dropped mic right there. But, so my name is Josiah Greer. I'm a motivational speaker, also an entrepreneur. I also work in a university here, a California State University here in Sacramento as an enrollment counselor, an outreach counselor and enrollment coordinator. I think that education is just really important because those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. You know what I mean? If we don't take the information that our ancestors have experienced and apply that to our lives, then we fall down the same rabbit hole. We fall down that same misguided information, misguided direction that, Queen Rachel was talking about. It's if we don't understand, what our ancestors were told, the way that they were raised, why they were told what the things that they were told, then, we ended up falling into that same trap. And we still see that today. To this day, we see, our children, our Black children, following a particular group of people. I'll never forget when I can't remember exactly who it was, but I watched a person say that, we have like millions of children trying out for 7 NBA basketball jobs that last 3 years. You know what I mean? So, that's education can give us the tools that we need to see, hey, this is a trap. If you're only trying to, we're raising all these millions of kids to become basketball players or become entertainers as a whole, then, we have to also, learn and see if we can create a different way. And that's just because we've been socialized to believe that this is the only way for Black people to be successful. In reality, there's Black entrepreneurs, there's Black real estate agents, there's Black, marketers, there's Black communication people. There, entertainment isn't the only way to be successful as a Black person, but that's the way they try to portray it. So our education is deep, and it's important to me, and that's kind of why I work within education. That's why I push for education, and I don't think that there's one way to be educated either. I think that there are so many different ways. There's YouTube University. You know what I mean? Like, even though I have a degree, I do understand that not everybody may want to learn in that structure, in that form of learning. We've been taught that, the teacher has to be in the front of the classroom and all the students have to sit there and listen to what the teacher says. In reality, studies have shown that, more inclusive education is better, where students are sitting around in a circle and they all have input. So that's just why, I think education is super important, because it can change really the future of our next generations.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. You said you were scared to come around behind that, bro. You did that just fine. Perfect, man. I think that you really hit on something that I hope we can continue to explore as we get deeper into this conversation around the different forms of education, right? I think sometimes we might think about formal education, right? But there's so many different ways that we can acquire education and different types of education that need to be acquired by our community in order to move forward outside of, public schooling and what they teach in their curriculum. Miss Nikea, did you want to contribute to this conversation?
Hi guys, I'm Nikia, but I go by Nikki. I might just listen today. I'll be honest. I'm hearing amazing things. This is like probably the first time I've been a part of Black education as a discussion. I know it's mind-blowing. So I might just listen today. My son is a little bit in a mood, but he's a 3rd grader. I have him sitting right next to me. I'll just follow along. If there's something that I find interesting, I might just throw it in the chat and then jump in then. But for now, I'm the student today.
Okay, for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, for sure. So we're going to go on to the next question real